What up, nerds? Welcome to episode 3 of AGP Quickies. I am Max, and I've got my main man, Tyler, here. Today, we're going to be talking about Star Wars. Nothing but the Star Wars. And first and foremost, up on the docket, we're going to be talking about some Jedi Fallen Order rumors that are going around, stating that Cal Kestis, so Cameron Monaghan, is going to be getting basically like his own spin off TV series in some sense. Tyler, tell us a little bit more about this. What are you thinking? Is this like a true rumor or is this just a bunch of BS?
I think that it's very likely that it's true, honestly, and I'm super excited about it. I loved Jedi Fallen Order. The reason why I'm thinking it's true, and it might not, but because we saw BD in Book of Boba Fett, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And I'm just like, why? Why would they like give us this little tease for no reason? Like because it's very, very easily transition to live action because of the character looking like the real life character, actor.
yeah.
Um, and such a good story. I feel like it was really well received by fans. So like, why would you not want to do that? Like, it just makes sense.
I would love to see it. What I think would be really cool is if Cameron Monaghan, if Cal Kestis is alive and lived through all of Return of the Jedi, and like he could just be in the Mando timeline. Like, wouldn't I think that'd be really cool? Because then the games can keep doing their thing, telling the story of, you know, pre A New Hope, which is what they're currently telling. I don't know. What do you think about that? Like, do you think it'd be cool to have it be in the same timeline as Mando?
My thoughts on it are that we've got these different Jedi, right? Like we have Ahsoka, there's Mace Windu, and there's Cal Kestis. Like where I think there's just a lot of Jedi that would be like, where were all these people during A New Hope? Like why was why was Luke the only like up and coming Jedi at the time? And that could cause a lot of questions, because most people obviously think Mace Windu lived, um, but and so like I don't know. For me, it causes a lot of like, what the heck is going on with those guys? What I would like to see, and I know we've talked about this personally before, is that like I don't see enough of like Darth Vader succeeding and like being, the menacing like killer. We got a little bit of that in Obi-Wan, but still in the end, like he gets beaten, right?
Yeah,
Um, and even in Jedi Fallen Order, like he comes in, he has an awesome, there's an awesome part of the game with Vader where you're just running from him. But even then, he doesn't really succeed in what he's trying to do, right? Like I feel like
yeah.
it's just failure after failure that we see from Vader. Same thing in Rebels. Like he goes up against Kanan and Ezra, and they're able to like smash him and get away. So
Yeah,
um,
Ahsoka beats him in Rebels. Yeah, it's
well,
true.
she doesn't really
For
beat him. She just gets away from like the time thing, right? Like,
Yeah, it's true. But she like slices his
um,
helmet open and stuff, and
right,
yeah,
right. She gets her hits in, yeah. But like, what I would love to see, because obviously Cal doesn't succeed in rebuilding the Jedi Order, right? Like that's his
yeah,
whole goal. And so I would like to see him doing that, kind of getting successful, and then Darth Vader just beating those guys down. Whoever he gets, he just beats them down, and it becomes kind of a tragedy story. Then obviously at the end have some kind of you know s- something salvaged good that comes out of it. But I would love to see something where Vader is really in it and a part of it, and really like is able to take some Jedi down, because like we don't have any of that. We don't. And we talked about that. I thought that was a huge miss at the beginning of the Obi-Wan, or at the beginning of Kenobi, because I wanted to see him in the Jedi Temple, like taking out Jedi, and we didn't get to see any of that still. So anyway,
yeah.
I think that would be cool.
I agree with you, and I know we need to move on to our next topic, but before we do, I just want to mention I completely agree. I've been hearing people talk about how they would love to see a Darth Vader spin-off series, which the whole show, the whole Star Wars timeline is his series, but like a new series where it's like Star Killer from the video games, and a lot of people have issues with that too because Star Killer in the video games basically defeats him and the Emperor, and it's like I'm like, yeah, I'm tired of seeing Vader get beat. Yes, he does have to lose eventually, like he does to Luke, but Vader's really powerful, and we don't see him beat the crap out of people enough. So, completely agree with you on that. I just think it'd be fun to have it in a later timeline. But speaking of Star Wars timelines, we're getting another bit of Star Wars coming here in August 31st. Andor is releasing. Now, that's not news. People knew that. Like we've known about Andor for a while. The trailer came out at Star Wars Celebration, like I don't know, not a month ago, but several weeks ago. But what I didn't realize, and this might be slightly old news, but it's still worth talking about, is it's going to be a 12 episode season. That's a first. Like it's always 6 episodes or like 10, I think 10, I think 9 at the most as we've ever gotten or something like that. But it's going to be a 12 episode season, and they've already said that it's going to be 2 seasons leading into the events of Rogue One. And I'm just kind of surprised to hear that it's, first of all, that it's a long season, like pleasantly surprised. And then second of all, that they've already confirmed, yep, this is basically going to be a 2 season limited series. Now, could they change their mind if season 2 ends up being like if season 1 ends up being a huge hit? But I don't know. What do you think? What do you take from this, Tyler?
I think it's great. I think that at this point, one of the things that they have gotten a lot of feedback about, I'll say, over at Star Wars is not having filler episodes. Like people don't want the filler episodes, right? And if you're gonna have that feedback and keep that in mind, which I think they've started trying to recognize that and not have those filler episodes. Um, if they're gonna keep that trend and have a 12 episode season, then we could have a really jam packed season, and I think that Andor opens up a lot of cool ideas, for what could be going on. We could, I mean, Cal could even be in that.
Yeah,
Um, and
good.
then what's her? Oh shoot, I'm forgetting her name right now. The girl from the Battlefront 2.
Oh man, I'm blanking on her name too, but I know who you're talking about.
Oh, she would be awesome. I would love to see her live action, and that would be really easy too, because of the same thing, like her looking exactly like the actress that
Man, I
that does
forget
her
the
voice acting.
Battlefront 2 timeline because she was Empire. When does
Yep.
she defect? I can't remember when in the timeline she defects from the Empire.
I don't know what year, but
But
whether
is it
she's
pre A New Hope?
um
I mean, I guess she could still be in it, even if she is in the Empire. She could be a villain. Like,
and that's what I was thinking. She could be in it regardless of her status at
yeah,
that
yeah,
year.
yeah. There's a lot of people talking about, Ahsoka could be in this,
Mhm.
with her call sign from, Rebels. Which
Iden Versio, that's her name. Iden
Iden Versio. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, Ahsoka could be in it. We could see all sorts of cameos. I don't know that we would see Kanan necessarily. Well, actually, that's not true. We could. I mean, this takes place at the same time as Rebels. It's like 5 years before A New Hope. So, I mean, there could be some intersecting there. We could get Kanan, we could get Hera, we could get Ezra, we could get all the like Rebels crew introduced. And
Anyone
honestly,
from Rebels,
I
yeah,
wouldn't be surprised if that happened.
yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised at all. I know that the Rebels people are going to be in Ahsoka. That's already been confirmed. So it's like you've already got the actors. It's already ready to go. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it just seems like a logical way to incorporate the Star Wars universe. We're getting like this new MCU type thing in the Star Wars, right? It's all connected, and all these
yeah,
crossovers are happening now. And you know what? I'm loving it. I'm loving that these cartoons that I watched are now crossing over into live action. I'm loving that these characters from the freaking 70s are showing up in movies or in TV shows. I don't love the deep faking, but like it's cool, that we're getting all
yeah.
this nostalgia built in. So I'm really
Well, I mean,
excited about Andor, and I thought the trailer looked interesting. They don't show much, but I think the show looks cool.
they want to leave some of the good stuff for the show, right? But
Of course.
I think visually it looks great. Like I mean, they had some, explosions and whatnot, and like the visual effects looked fantastic. Um,
I'm expecting more of like a political drama. Not much
right.
Force, not much Jedi. I think it's
Um,
going to be more political, like Star Wars political anyway. I don't think you're going to be hearing about Republicans and Democrats. You know,
well, yeah, of course, but not directly anyway. But
that's
it,
true. There could be metaphors.
yeah, but it's oh shoot, oh yeah, I can't think of anybody's name. I just remembered his name, Saw Gerrera. I'm
Oh yeah,
wondering about him showing up, like a younger Saw Gerrera. Um,
yeah. I can't remember if in Rogue One did they indicate that Andor knew who Saw was. So I don't feel like they knew each other, but that doesn't mean
I
Saw
don't.
couldn't be in it. Like Saw could, be in the show still, but maybe him and Andor don't interact.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they could use the same actor or not to play Saw Gerrera. They would
Forrest
have to do
Whitaker. I
some.
mean, they could.
I mean, they could. Maybe they would need to do some de-aging because I mean, it's been what? How many years since Rogue One came out?
Well,
And
six
then this
years.
would be, yeah, and then this would be like 5 years before that. So,
It's true.
and
Yeah.
he's not a young guy. So, um, maybe that. But I mean, they could totally pull that off. Like it wouldn't be like that drastic.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, and Saw's been used in other mediums. He was in Fallen Order.
right.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I mean, I think he would be a great character to show up, especially with how gritty, it seems like Andor's life has been from what he talks about in Rogue One,
Yeah.
like that kind of grittiness has like Saw Gerrera written all over it, I feel like.
I want to know when we're going to finally get freaking live action Hondo. Where the frick is Hondo? He should have been in the Obi-Wan show.
Yeah, I love Hondo. I don't know if Hondo's character fits the tone that I saw in the trailer, you know? Like he's just such a comic relief character.
Yeah.
Um, but
Hondo
it
has to be
can,
introduced, man. We know he's alive even in the Resistance timeline because that's what Star Wars Galaxy Edge is about. And the ride fits into the Star Wars universe at the Rise of
yeah,
or like post the sequel trilogy era. So
which is
Hondo's out there and he's
freaking
been
coolest
kicking
ride
for
ever.
years. What was that?
I said, which is the freaking coolest ride ever. Love that ride.
The Millennium Falcon ride is really cool. That is a fun ride. Smuggler's
Uh,
Run. I always get a low score, but I have fun.
yeah, and I never got to be the pilot, which is lame.
Oh, I've been pilot a few times, which pre-planning now, dude. I'm going to Disney in August. I'm gonna have to come back. We'll talk bit more about my Star Wars experience while I'm there. We'll make a little mini
Yeah,
episode out of
man.
that.
But yeah, I think it just has so much that they could do. I don't want to like put the expectations too high, because
I have
you,
tempered expectations. Yeah,
yeah, you set yourself up for failure that way. But there are so many things, like even if they just do one of the things that we've talked about, like it could end up being really cool, introducing some of the other characters and stuff. Um, but there's some great casting done in this show, I feel like. One that I didn't really expect until I saw the trailer was Stellan Skarsgård. Um, and I think he's a phenomenal actor. So, and he's a rebel. I was like, I first saw him and I was like, is he going to be an, evil or good? You never really know with that guy, but
Skarsgårds are always a good casting, man. There's
yeah,
that family is talented. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I agree with you. Tempered expectations. It's Star Wars, so I'm excited. I think it's going to be a slow start. I would not be shocked at all if, which by the way, on August 31st, it's going to be a 2-episode premiere. I wouldn't be shocked at all if people give feedback after the first 2 episodes saying this is really slow. It's not going anywhere. I 100% expect that, which is what people say about like every show, I feel like.
yeah.
But I'm stoked about it. Well, any final thoughts before we close up shop tonight, Tyler?
No, just excited. Got lots of Star Wars to look forward to. Let's do it, man. More Star Wars. I'm all about it.
May the force be with us all. Thank you for tuning into episode 3 of AGP Quickies. We have loved spending some time with you tonight. Tyler, give us the catchphrase because I can never remember it.
Never underestimate the value of a quickie.
There you go.